Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to be taking a look at the upcoming pattern which continues to show warmth in the east and cold out west. So taking a look at the current radar over the east, we do have this warm sector here forming, which is allowing for some showers and thunderstorms to form along this line. They're saying there is a chance of a few damaging wind gusts tonight, strong wind gusts along the line of storms that will be developing. You can see out west they have quite a bit of precipitation ongoing. I'll change it to precipitation type over here so that you can actually see that there is some snowfall going on in the mountains and higher elevations. We have the Sierra Nevadas under winter weather advisory and winter storm warnings out here. And then we have the northeast, of course, seeing some snowfall up there. So let's take a look at the model guidance here. So let's see. All right. Model guidance here. This is the GFS. Shows this lines of showers and thunderstorms developing across the central and eastern states, with even some freezing rain and some mixing going on in Pennsylvania. Snowfall for the extreme far northeast areas like New York, Vermont, and Maine. We have that line of storms continued. Excuse me. Okay, so we have that line of storms continuing to make its way across the eastern states right now. And as that moves out to sea, we'll see another tiny push of cold air. Though not much, though. Nothing too crazy. Then we see this ridge starting to develop once again out east. We do see this ridge start to develop out west as well. Although the Climate Prediction Center seems to disagree with that. And we have this system on, I believe, is Valentine's Day. This system here. So that will be very interesting. Let me go back to out to where we were. Okay, so we have this Valentine's Day system. We have the low pressure centered back towards eastern Texas, and we have a line of storms in Mississippi and Alabama and Tennessee, and we could see some severe weather from this if this did come into play, like the models are showing it will. And then we kind of see it moving off the east coast. It's trying to reform or something, but it doesn't really. And then we see a massive trough in the east, ridge out, or trough out west, ridge out east type of look here. This would allow for tons of warm air to flood the east. You can see even the 570 line around Memphis there. We have the 540 line all the way up in Canada here. We have the low pressure system with a cold front allowing for all this cold air to be funneled out into the west. And then we have a warm front, a big warm front way over top, allowing for all of this warm air to be funneled up into the eastern United States. And the east doesn't get much relief from that system either, as we continue to show this pattern of this warmer weather with the continual warm front over top, cold front over the backside type of look. And if the model guidance did work out this way and we continued to see these lines of storms, the eastern United States, specifically these regions, would see a very active start to severe weather season. We already have somewhat of an active start, but this would just make it more active. So that's as far as the GFS goes. Let's take a look at the European model. We can see we have this line of storms developing. It's starting off as a more discrete look and then kind of transitioning to a more widespread look. As that moves out to sea, it doesn't bring much relief to the east. But the the European model shows this Valentine's Day storm really far suppressed down to the south by the jet stream. This colder air mass kind of making its way southward a little bit. It's southward a little bit further on this model. And then we do see this another system form. We have a lot of discrete cells, especially in the southeast. This would be concerning if this actually developed. And then it moves out to sea, and then we just continue to see a warm and stormy pattern out east and a cold and snowy pattern out west as we continue to see this atmospheric river into the Pacific Northwest. And you can see it really doesn't really want to give way at all. Even by the end of the model run, you can still see it trying. It's more so affecting British Columbia at this point, but it's trying. And then we have this low pressure system, still warm front over top, is still allowing warm air to funnel into the central United States, and the cold front allowing for all this cold air to funnel into the western United States. So we have that in play. So let's take a look at any severe weather potential that could come out of this Valentine's Day storm on the GFS. So as you can see, the 15th, we have this massive storm. This is the 37th frame, by the way, if anyone wanted to know. But we have that storm. We're going to look at upper air analysis. So let's take a look at the 300 millibar analysis at the 37th frame. Okay, we do have, this catches my eye a little bit. We have a low pressure system, like kind of a 300 millibar trough here. This kind of catches my eye here. We have definitely a ridge and more of a westerly flow. However, we also have some subtle short waves in there. And then the storm was around this area at this point, and if that was the case, we have these exit region here. The wind is diverging quite a bit, and so we have all this void here in the atmosphere that is going to try to fill. So at the lower levels, we should expect to see a low pressure system centered somewhere in there. Okay, we do have a little bit of a low pressure system near there. We do have this low here forming, and then we have all this southerly flow in the lower levels of the atmosphere. We have westerly flow in the upper levels and southerly flow in the low levels. So this setup would be pretty prime for a severe weather event if this were to occur. Another important thing we got to look at is the temperature and the dew point. So we do have sufficient temperatures out for these areas along the southern Gulf Coast. Those are sufficient temperatures for severe weather. Not much farther north than that, though. Really, I would say these are the sufficient temperature areas. And so when we look at the dew point, I would expect to see 50s dew points and 60s dew points. And that is exactly what we see. We see this warm, really nice warm sector here, and then even a nice warm sector throughout these areas. Dew points kind of lower elsewhere, so we could definitely see severe weather on this day if this all plays out. We'll look at the Cape, surface-based Cape, real quick. That's the problem, though. We don't have a lot of Cape, although it can develop off of just 500 plus Cape. So we do have a little sector of Cape here in the southern states. So if anything, the severe weather threat would be minimized down to towards the southern areas. Doesn't really do much else. So let's move on to the Weather Prediction Center. So today we can expect to see showers and thunderstorms across this region here. And then maybe a little bit of mixed precipitation and freezing rain in these areas, as well as snowfall for the farthest northern areas. A lot of snowfall and mixed precipitation for the west coast. Tomorrow, we can expect a lot of snowfall for the eastern and northeastern United States and mixed precipitation and freezing rainfall for the west coast, as well as some more showers and thunderstorms for the eastern states here. Day 3, we can expect to see some thunderstorms, showers, and thunderstorms developing across West Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. So this is 7 a.m. Eastern Time Friday, or 7 a.m. Eastern Time Thursday. So this is Thursday. Today, it says today is Tuesday, I think. So anyways, we do have some showers and storms developing here. That's pretty interesting to see. We have above average temperatures for the East Coast. This is a 6 to 10 day outlook, 15 to 19, February 15th through the 19th. We see a really big ridge out east and a really big trough out west, and that would continue. This pattern may continue for a while now. 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. A lot of the United States expected to be wetter than normal, except for this dry pocket in the south central states here. And then we have the 8 to 14 day outlook, the February 17th through the 23rd. Continued warmth for the east and even really building out east. And then we have a really big trough building still out west. And so that's interesting to see there. And then we have a lot of the nation continuing to be more active, save extreme southern areas. So thank you for watching today's video. You should check out EpicPen. You can get the free version, and here's what you can get. And then the $2 a month version or $24 a year, you can get all this. So you should really check it out. And thank you for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.